Hi, I'm Rick Wilson, and welcome to Dragonproof. This year has been a year of disruption. 2020 will likely go down in history as the year disruption became a mainstream concept in almost all parts of our life. And there's many kinds of disruption in business. There's sudden changes in competitors, consumer behavior, supply chain disruptions, and then there's the ever sort of scary and big force majeure concept, an act of God, if you will. And those can be weather, or natural disasters, or COVID, or even this year, an election. And how we deal with disruptions as business and as people, it ultimately defines us. They ultimately provide opportunities for growth. Here's one example. As a result of the massively disruptive COVID lockdowns, people are creating self-contained quarantine worlds, if you will. I don't know if you've been out shopping for furniture lately or anything for your house. Everything is back ordered. It can take months to get much of anything as people really realize they're settling into their home. And so they're trying to build a world of comfort and safety. This then became a game changer for sellers of home goods. Bed Bath & Beyond is up 80% last quarter online. And a classic example of a good disruption, not all disruptions are bad, is the holiday season. Holiday season has been a good disruptor for e-commerce for pretty much the last 20 years, I would say. And the holidays are extremely disruptive in e-commerce in a great way. US retail e-commerce holiday 2019 was over $135 billion in sales. Black Friday, Cyber Monday alone last year was $30 billion in online sales. Most businesses who sell online spend at least 6 months preparing for that final 2 months of the year, shifting plans and resources and adapting to very extreme conditions. If you will, it's go time. It's the Super Bowl of e-commerce. This year's holiday disruption is on top of many other disruptions of 2020. But in some cases, a business itself is an answer to disruption, which ultimately brings me to my guest today. A product that is designed to bring emotional comfort and human connection to customers, which is exactly what we all need right now. With that, welcome Mitch Goldstone of ScanMyPhotos.com.
Thanks, Rick. Great to be with you.
And so, Mitch, do you think photos are really the ultimate holiday gift item?
They are, especially this year. People are seeking normalcy and nostalgia as well because travel, vacations, family reunions, the holidays are really off limits. So what people are doing is they're revisiting all those decades past snapshots, slides, movie film, all of that to share, especially on all the social media.
So, Mitch, real quick, let our listeners know what ScanMyPhotos.com does for a living.
Well, thanks to Miva, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be doing anything. We made it super easy to digitize photos. Average order is about 5,000 pictures. People go to the ScanMyPhotos.com website. They order prepaid boxes, fill it up, send it back to us, and we digitize everything super fast, 1,000 photos in about 5 minutes, and then send it back to them online through DVD data discs and thumb drives as well.
And so, okay, that's awesome. And that reminds me that I need to go find all my pre-digital photos and send them to you. But tell me what a normal holiday season looks like for you when people are normally hustling and bustling and trying to figure out when they're flying and all those things.
Sure. In the past, photography, especially digital photography, was year-round. People were looking for it for anniversaries, events, and all. This year, though, is really different. And Rick, it's quite emotional and sad. About 40% of all of our orders now are for memorial services, people that are gathering all of their photos for their loved ones they lost from the pandemic to create special presentations for memorial services. So everything is so different this year.
And do you think the holiday time is going to be specifically different, or is it kind of spread out evenly over the year for you?
It's normal, yeah. It's normally spread out. It's not seasonal, which is good to have a business like that. But as Dr. Fauci just said, Thanksgiving and the holidays are going to look very different this year because people aren't going to be able to be together. So what we're starting to see already are families gathering all of their old photos to share online with each other. So they have that presence of at least nostalgia from past holiday events.
Yeah, I mean, that actually was exactly what I was going to ask you next, which is, so what's different in, this notorious year of 2020, and specifically, how do people, can you add a little more color to how people are connecting and relating to their pictures this year?
They are. More than ever, they're using all the photo sharing apps, whether it's Twitter, Snap, Facebook, Instagram, Google Photos, for sharing the pictures. But, everyone has all their recent pictures on their smartphone. And Rick, if you're like me, it's mostly of, the food you ate last night, but not all of those decades past events. That's why this year nostalgia is so important, to recover and revisit all the old pictures, because we can't travel, the old vacation pictures as a family together, to share with each other using all of the photo sharing apps.
Yeah, and look, not to be, I want to be delicate here, but this is a business podcast, and so is traffic and orders actually up in 2020?
They're up. It all started this year with the New Yorker magazine had a cartoon about husband and wife going through all their old photos to preserve all of them. And the wife says, this is the best time to do that. And that basically symbolizes why this year is so different, because everyone is at home looking for nostalgia, looking for that normalcy. And that's where pictures come in.
Yeah, no, obviously that makes perfect sense. And again, being delicate around a sensitive issue of COVID and family and the holidays, but considering your volume's up and the whole logistics system in e-commerce right now is overwhelmed, right? I mean, it's hard. FedEx, USPS, Amazon, UPS, they're all, they're suggesting ship early. How is that impacting your business? Like, are you guys planning early? Are you doing anything to make sure people get their pictures in times for the holidays?
Sure, that's a good question, because we actually, especially because of the memorial services, we added same-day scanning, Instamedia, where we immediately upload all the images so people can get it within minutes of it being scanned. So that was a way to protect from all the delays, especially with the postal service.
So essentially, if I understand your business correctly, someone comes on, let's say I have 1,000 photos or whatever, and I buy a prepaid box. You send me a flat rate shipping box. I stuff it full of photos. I send it to you. And then you can either digitally give me a way to download my photos once you scan them, or you can mail me a DVD or a thumb drive. Is that how it all works?
Exactly. And not to be too commercial, but thanks to Miva, we have this huge shopping cart with all types of extras to enhance the order as well, including same-day scanning and color enhancing all the pictures, just a whole variety of add-ons. So it makes it so simple when someone's placing an order. They just click on all the add-ons they want, and then it's that easy, especially now with same-day turnarounds to expedite the orders.
So when it comes to things like planning your holiday strategy or just strategy in general, I've known you for a while, and you're always kind of right on top of the media and on trend, as they say. How much strategy did you have to put into preparing for the holidays, and how much of it just comes natural to you? Like, what's your process like?
Well, I think it goes back to my education. I'm a graduate from University of Southern California's entrepreneur program. And the first lesson we learned is don't do ready, aim, fire. Always do fire, ready, maybe aim. And that's what we do. Along with my partner, Carl Berman, each morning we have a strategy session and we say, let's do this. So whereas whenever I speak to other businesses, they have strategic plans months in advance. Ours is pretty much the morning of. Whatever today's news is what we're focused on. And so tomorrow morning will be something totally different. We don't even know what it is yet, but I think that's the real secret in business, to fire, keep on aiming, and seeing what you hit.
Well, and that kind of leads me to something else I wanted to ask you about, and I wasn't expecting that answer from you, but that's perfect. I think that ethos goes hand in hand with the way Twitter works, and you have a very strong Twitter following, and it's passionate and political. How do you view Twitter? How do you communicate with people, fans online? Are you ever worried about alienating your customers? Tell me.
Not at all. We're real passionate politically. Every business needs to have a voice. You can't just be selling stuff. So what we did is we have a social media team across the country, and I had all of them just turn all the other stuff off and just go political. It's that important. and the content they put out gets thousands and thousands of views and likes and gets shared all over the place. When we're just talking about our business, not that much interest. But when we get political, it really sparks interest. Sure, we get people that complain, but that just creates the dialogue with everyone else backing us up. And that's been something we've been very passionate about for a long time, to use our voice and to achieve what I hope is good.
Yeah, actually, you just reminded me of a tweet you sent to me in 2016 or 2015 during the election, when our president, Donald Trump, and he wasn't president then, was talking about how websites should cost $2 to build. And you were like, no, that's not how this works.
Rick, what a great memory, if only. And in fact, I actually, when I felt so strongly he was going to lose in 2016, that we announced that if he wins, we will scan everyone's photos for free across the nation, up to 500 photos. And David Pogue picked it up and retweeted it. It was in the Hill magazine as well. And indeed, he won that time. And we kept our word. And that just garnered a whole bunch of added attention for, hey, this business kept their word. Sorry it happened, but we did that too, and we digitized people's pictures without charge.
Well, look, and good on you for following through with what you promised, and also nice having a good strategy in that. So we just talked about fire, ready, aim, which is it's a mantra I used to use in my younger days and I'd forgotten about. So thanks for reminding me of that. But with that said, what's in store for next year? What do you see on the horizon for your business?
Well, we're working with Miva on a whole new project, and it's going to revolutionize everything that we do here. So that's pretty much our priority for 2021. And it's also to gear up more to be able to have faster turnaround time. When people have pictures scanned, if you buy your own do-it-yourself scanner, you're out hundreds of dollars before scanning your first picture. Or if you send it to other services, it could take weeks more. So our big focus now is on same-day service. There's no reason why people have to wait literally months to have their pictures back.
Yeah, I never thought about this before we're talking about it today, but I can see how speed of delivery would be critical for your customer base. If I actually because I'm trying to remember where all my analog photos are at home, and I don't know off the top of my head. So if I take the effort to go get them and get them ready, then I'm going to want my answers. I'm going to want my results quickly.
Absolutely. And Rick, I have to also add that our big project right now, it's just very preliminary, is to partner with one of the very large photo sharing apps. Their biggest challenge is content, and we're content providers for them. So everyone that uploads to them, and you know the names, are just sharing recent pictures from their smartphone. But there's so much content from generations of slides, movie film, and of course the analog photo snapshots to be uploaded, and it's entirely overlooked. And for all of the photo sharing apps, their big interest is daily average users. How do you boost that? And that's where ScanMyPhotos comes in, because we provide the content from all of the images that until now are just stored away in boxes.
So it sounds like, if I'm reading the tea leaves with you correctly, that you're personally optimistic, or that you're optimistic about ScanMyPhotos for the future. But what's your personal optimism? What do you think in 2021 on a personal level?
Well, I hope we get beyond what's happening now. All of us have so many friends, relatives who are out of work, affected by medically or economically by the pandemic. So I think that's the big concern, to get over this and get back to resuming where we were.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense to me. And I think this intuitively, but as an outsider looking in, I want to let you know that I think your service is extremely important for people, especially this year. That relationship to family and memories is critical. And I wish you, as always, the most ongoing success. And I'm sure we will be talking to you in the future. And, God willing, maybe we can have a MivaCon in fall of 2021, and I can see you in the flesh.
That would be great. And I have to say, none of this would be here without you. My passion. How I love to take credit for everything, but it's you. So thank you.
Well, thanks, Mitch. You've always been very kind. Thank you so much for joining us today. And with that, we're going to say goodbye to Mitch.
Thanks very much.
Disruptions themselves seem scary. When you hear the word itself, it sounds like everything's about to change. And we all know the old adage that people don't like change. But I think there's a better way to look at it. Disruptions fundamentally lead to innovations. Whether it is a business innovation, a political innovation, all human progress through history came on the heels of a disruption. And that's what we have to keep in mind as entrepreneurs, as business people, as citizens. Our civic duty is to make the world better when we face disruption. And sometimes a product is the answer to that need. In this case, family and community will always thrive. Helping people connect emotionally to their family when they can't be physically with them is of paramount importance. And so remember, as we head into elections in the fall, these stressors will help you hone. Use the stress of all of 2020 to make better disruptions, to make your business better. So stay safe, stay engaged, vote. Follow us on Twitter at Dragonproof Pod, and subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. See you next week.